What happens when one of the most recognizable faces in the world is cornered on what's supposed to be a tame afternoon talk show? You're about to find out in the shocking moment Jennifer Lopez walked off The View after Joy Behar took things way too far. This is more than just a celebrity interview gone wrong. It's a masterclass in how personal vendettas can blow up professional boundaries. But before we get to that explosive moment, make sure to smash that subscribe button and tell me in the comments below, who on the talk show circuit do you think crosses the line the most? You may be surprised. It was an early Tuesday morning in New York City, and the studio for The View was buzzing. Jennifer Lopez arrived bright and early looking poised, ready to talk about her latest, deeply personal passion project, a movie about family, overcoming adversity, and the human connection that binds us all. Her hair and makeup were on point, and she exuded confidence. As the host warmed up the studio audience with their witty banter and inside jokes, the anticipation in the room was electric. Please welcome back to The View, the one and only, the incredibly talented Jennifer Lopez. Whoopi Goldberg announced, beaming. The studio erupted into thunderous applause. Wait. Jennifer's face lit up and she returned Whoopi's warm smile before gracefully settling into her seat. "Thank you so much for having me," she said, her voice sweet and clear. The other hosts, Sarah Haynes, Sunny Host, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, greeted Jennifer with big smiles and warm words of welcome. Yet in her peripheral vision, Jennifer couldn't help but notice the tight-lipped expression of Joy Behar, who appeared to be radiating an aura of impending doom. "So J-Lo, tell us about this new film that you're so excited about," Whoopi urged. "I know it's very personal to you." Jennifer's eyes sparkled. "It is. It really is. It's a story about the mother-daughter dynamic and all the complexities that go along with that relationship, and I really think that it's something that a lot of people can connect to, regardless of where they come from. Critics are already saying that this is your best performance to date." Sarah exclaimed, her enthusiasm for the project infectious. "Oh, thank you so much for that." Jennifer gushed, her voice full of genuine gratitude. "I've been doing this for over 20 years now, and every time I get a new script, there is still so much that I feel like I have to learn." In the corner of her eye, Jennifer saw joy shift in her seat. The silence was almost more deafening than the applause, and a storm seemed to be brewing. "And this movie is all about perseverance," Sunny added kindly. "Your character faces so many hardships and setbacks, but you never give up on your dreams. Is that something you personally relate to?" Jennifer nodded slowly. "Of course, I think anyone that's ever pursued a career in this industry has known what it's like to be told no, to be rejected time and time again, but you just have to pick yourself up and keep on going." And that's when Joy Behar cut through the warmth like a lightning strike. "Speaking of criticism, Jennifer, do you ever get tired of always being in the center of all of it?" The studio instantly fell silent. Jennifer's smile faltered for a split second, but she maintained her composure. "I'm sorry, Joy. I'm not sure I understand what you're referring to." Joy smirked and leaned forward. "Oh, I think you know exactly what I'm referring to. We're all adults. We can be honest with each other, and I think the viewers are sick and tired of hearing all the rehearsed PR nonsense." Whoopi tried to take the reins. "Joy, I think we were supposed to be talking about Jennifer's new film." "No, Whoopi. This is exactly what we should be talking about," Joy interjected. "Jennifer, I mean, you've built an entire career for yourself on reinvention. Some would even say on constantly becoming someone that you're not." The air in the studio was thick with tension, and the cameras kept rolling. Would Jennifer continue to take the high road, or would she finally snap? And then Jennifer Lopez did something no one expected. Jennifer adjusted her posture and leaned back in her chair, her professional instincts kicking in. "Joy, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Perhaps you could elaborate a bit more." Joy leaned forward, a knowing smile plastered across her face. "Oh, I think you know exactly what I mean. Let's talk about authenticity, shall we? You were born a dancer from the Bronx, then you became a pop singer, then you became an actress, a designer, a businesswoman. At what point do you stop asking yourself who Jennifer Lopez really is?" A hush fell over the table, the other hosts exchanging anxious glances. Sarah attempted a graceful redirection. "I think Jennifer's adaptability is one of the most amazing things about her career." "Adaptability? Is that what we're calling it?" Joy scoffed. "Because from where I'm sitting, it looks more like a carefully calculated way of staying in the headlines no matter the cost." Jennifer inhaled sharply, her voice calm but firm. "Joy, I've never hidden who I am or where I come from, and I'm very proud of the journey that I've had and of exploring different avenues for my creativity." Joy scoffed. "Different avenues? Or perhaps I should call them romantic partnerships with very public, powerful men whose name can instantly boost your image. You have Ben Affleck, you have Alex Rodriguez, and now Ben Affleck again. Don't you see a pattern here?" The studio audience gasped. Whoopi's eyes widened in shock. Joy, that is completely out of line. Jennifer tightened her grip on her chair, but her voice remained steady. Excuse me, I don't appreciate you turning my personal life into a PR stunt. Oh, please, Joy drawled, dismissing Jennifer's concerns with a wave of her hand. This is Hollywood, darling. Every single thing is a PR stunt. The real question is, are you honest about the fact that you're creating these fairy tales, or do you keep telling yourself that it's all about love? Sunny tried to intervene, her voice tinged with concern. Joy, I really think we should move on. No, Sunny, Joy said stubbornly. Our viewers deserve some truth for once, and I'm sick of all the fluff. Jennifer, let's talk about your music career. Who is writing these songs for you nowadays? I hear it's a lot of people and only a few lines you actually sing yourself. Jennifer's composure began to crack, her voice, now laced with an edge. I've always worked collaboratively in my music career. That's just how it works. Collaborative? Joy laughed. Is that what we're calling it? I hear they have to use autotune so much to get your vocals on track, the sound engineers actually make jokes about it. The room fell silent, the question hanging heavy in the air. Jennifer's eyes narrowed, but she managed another steadying breath. Joy, I've been making music for over 2 decades, and I think my body of work speaks for itself. Joy leaned back with a satisfied smirk. Does it? Because people who work with you tell a very different story about vocal coaches working overtime. The other hosts looked horrified. Alyssa finally interjected, breaking the tension. Joy, this is truly out of line. The entire room was fixated on Jennifer, waiting to see what she would do next. Would she endure another scathing comment? Or finally have enough? Joy pivoted sharply toward her counterparts, her voice laced with challenge. We are journalists, aren't we? Or are we just going to let the celebs plug their next project and avoid asking any questions that might rock the boat? Jennifer leaned forward, her cool composure beginning to unravel. Joy, if you have a pertinent question regarding my work, I will answer it. But a personal attack, that's not journalism, it's just nasty. Joy burst into an unpleasant laugh. Personal attack? Jennifer, you've made a fortune by packaging yourself as some kind of an authentic girl next door from the block. Let's be real, you're not that person at all. You're a brand, a carefully cultivated and focus group tested brand. That's enough. Jennifer's voice was now tight but steady. I didn't come here to be ambushed. I came here to discuss my movie. Ambushed? Joy's voice cracked. We're on a talk show, Jennifer. We discuss real things. That's not just sanitized hype your publicist wants us to digest. Whoopi interjected, her tone earnest. Joy, if we could just take this back to Jennifer's movie, I'd really appreciate it. Joy seemed deaf to her voice rising and sharp as glass. No, Whoopi, I'm tired of the puffy interviews and soft questions. Jennifer, let's discuss some of your businesses. How many companies you've been associated with have actually survived without your celebrity name attached? Jennifer narrowed her eyes, her tolerance now completely exhausted. My businesses are successful because I work hard at all of them. Aren't you just jealous that someone actually has an ability to maintain what they've worked hard for and to keep their businesses thriving? Or are you only interested in getting paid to come and sit behind a desk and tear down everyone else? The audience was holding its breath, sensing something big was about to explode. Jennifer's hands were clenching, her knuckles turning white. Joy, Jennifer said, her voice low and dangerous. You clearly have some kind of issue with me personally, and it has nothing to do with journalistic ethics or doing anything other than trying to belittle me in front of millions of people. A personal issue? Joy feigned innocence. I don't have a personal issue with you. I just have a problem with the way you've been able to pull the wool over the eyes of the media and the public for decades now. Pull the wool over their eyes? Jennifer scoffed. I have worked hard to get where I am. I have never asked for a handout or a leg up. Oh, please. Joy's voice dripped with acid. That's the oldest story in Hollywood, never asked for a leg up. Jennifer, your entire career has been one leg up after another. You went from background dancer to leading lady practically overnight. It takes most people years to hone their craft. I have honed my craft for years. Jennifer's composure began to fray. I danced and I took acting and music classes. Just because my career took off rapidly does not mean I did not earn it. Earn it? Joy sneered. Jennifer, let's take a moment to discuss some of the details of how you were able to get your first leading role in the first place. I've heard some stories about casting couches. The audience collectively gasped, and Whoopi slammed her hand down on the desk. Joy, that is completely inappropriate. Jennifer, visibly shaking with rage, rose partially from her chair, her face scarlet. How dare you? I'm not saying anything, Jennifer. I'm just saying that things aren't always what they seem in Hollywood, and it just so happens that your career did seem awfully convenient to you at that moment. Convenient? Jennifer's voice boomed across the studio. The audience sat frozen, waiting. The superstar was about to blow. Jennifer stood now, her whole body trembling with barely restrained fury. You think working 18-hour days was convenient? You think taking rejection after rejection after rejection was convenient? You think facing questions about whether or not you were worthy of it was convenient? Sarah reached out, her voice hushed. Jennifer, please, just sit down. Joy doesn't speak for us all. But Jennifer was beyond hearing. No, Sarah. I think Joy has been clear as day. She thinks I'm a fraud. She thinks I'm a manipulator. And evidently, she thinks I slept my way to the top. Joy put her hands on her hips. I think you're a victim of the system that values superficiality and looks over genuine talent. And I think you deserve to be called out on it. Called me out? Jennifer's voice was now a storm. What have you ever done to deserve your position? What have you ever created or accomplished with your own two hands besides tearing down others who actually take chances? The words hit home. Joy's face hardened. I've been in this industry for longer than you've been alive, little girl. I was interviewing presidents while you were still dancing in music videos, and what exactly do you have to show for it? I have a reputation for being bitter, for ambushing my guests, and for being dishonest in my own show. Jennifer spat back. Joy was standing now, her voice a shrill scream. You want to know what my vendetta is? It's that there are people who have built careers by believing they can buy respect, or that by taking the culture from people who are originally from the neighborhoods and then profiting from it while pretending to have come from humble beginnings is okay. Appropriation? Jennifer's voice quivered with anger. I am the culture, Joy. I am Puerto Rican. I am from the Bronx. I worked my ass off to get where I am, and don't you dare speak to me about cultural appropriation. Oh, really? Joy sneered. Because when it's beneficial for your brand to tell people you're just a humble chick from the block, it's just Jenny. But when you're appealing to a global market, you're Jennifer Lopez, the superstar. It's one or the other. It's not cultural appropriation, it's having to adapt to get your career going, Jennifer shot back. Joy's voice was now cold, precise, and venomous. And how did you adapt, Jennifer? Did you ever have to compromise any values? Did you ever have to do things that embarrassed you in order to make it? The question hung in the air like a venomous cloud. Jennifer stared at her, her chest heaving. Then she quietly replied, You know, Joy, I've been in this industry for 25 years. I've dealt with people like you, the type who think that belittling others is going to make themselves look good. I've dealt with insecure, spiteful women who choose to punch down instead of up. Successful women? Joy cackled. Is that what you're calling yourself now? Jennifer, you are a cautionary tale of what happens when ambition overpowers talent. It was too much. Jennifer's eyes welled with tears of rage, but her voice was clear. I'm not going to sit here any longer and listen to this. I am not going to be subjected to your jealousy and bitterness. Jealousy? Joy's voice cracked in a theatrical display of disbelief. What on earth could I possibly be jealous of? Your failed romances, your so-so movies, your auto-tuned vocals? Calmly, Jennifer picked up her purse, her movements slow and deliberate. I am not jealous of anything about you, Joy. Not a thing. The other hosts were stunned into silence as Jennifer turned, the studio thick with palpable tension, and walked off set. The cameras followed her every step. The audience was in a frenzy of whispers. Jennifer Lopez made a statement that day that had nothing to do with promoting a movie. It was about self-worth and refusing to be a victim. Whoopi tried one last desperate Hail Mary. Jennifer, please, she said, standing and reaching toward her guest. Don't do this. We can work this out. Jennifer turned to Whoopi, eyes blazing, yet her voice was surprisingly calm, almost serene. Whoopi, I respect you immensely, but I will not allow myself to be insulted on national television by somebody clearly working with an agenda. Joy smirked. An agenda? My agenda is honesty, something which seems to be highly detrimental to you. Jennifer whipped around and faced Joy one last time. Honesty? You want honesty, Joy? This is some honesty for you. You are a bitter woman who spent so many years tearing people down. You have forgotten how to build. You hide behind this show and your so-called journalism, but what you really are, Joy, is a bully. A bully? Joy screeched. I am asking the questions your PR team wants me to avoid at all costs. No, Jennifer declared, slinging her purse over her shoulder. You are asking the questions to humiliate me. There is a difference between journalism and character assassination, and you crossed that line the second I sat down. Sunny stood. Jennifer, please don't leave. Joy, this has gotten way out of hand. Way out of hand, Sunny. This is exactly how journalism should work. Holding celebrities accountable, not allowing them to dictate the terms of the narrative. Jennifer let out a sharp, bitter laugh. Accountable? Accountable for working hard? For being successful? For not fitting in your tiny boxes about what a Latina woman can and cannot be? There it is, Joy smugly stated. The race card. Jennifer's mouth fell open. The race card? Joy, you've spent the past 20 minutes dissecting every element of my being. My talent, my career, my life choices. How can you not see how that ties into race and gender? Alyssa's voice finally broke the silence. Joy, you need to stop. This is harassment. Joy spun on Alyssa. Harassment. I am performing my job duties, Alyssa. Perhaps if more people in this field performed their duties instead of being caught up in celebrity infatuation, there would be some real accountability. Your duty is to interview, not to bully. Sarah interjected. Jennifer agreed to come on the show to discuss her film. You have turned this into a personal vendetta. It's not personal, Joy insisted, though her voice cracked. It is about doing my job. Jennifer is a perfect example of everything wrong with modern celebrity. Jennifer was incredulous. Everything wrong with celebrity? I've used my platform to advocate for education, healthcare, and immigrants' rights. I've employed people. I've supported countless charities. I've made every effort to be a positive role model. And that's wrong? It's all part of the performance, Joy spat. The whole carefully crafted Jennifer Lopez, humanitarian image. Jennifer's voice rose, echoing through the studio. You know what, Joy? Even if everything I do is a performance, if everything is calculated as you say, at least I'm contributing something positive. At least I'm not sitting here tearing women down for entertainment. Joy's face turned beet red. Entertainment? I've been championing women's rights long before you were even a thought. Jennifer's voice boomed. Championing women's rights? Is this what you call championing women's rights? Because 20 minutes ago, you tore down a woman's entire career and character on national television. How does that help women's rights? The words landed like a punch. Joy was momentarily speechless. Jennifer's voice grew louder, filling the entire studio. Do you know what's really wrong with this industry, Joy? It's women who think the only way they can succeed is by stepping over and breaking down other women. It's this idea that there can only be one dominant female voice at a time. The audience sat in stunned silence. The cameras continued to roll. In that moment, Jennifer Lopez, powerful, successful, undeniable, did what few others had the courage to do. She stood up, picked up her purse, and walked out. The studio fell silent. The applause never came, and the shock never subsided. And just like that, Jennifer made a more powerful statement than any premiere or awards show ever could. Sometimes the battle isn't worth fighting when your dignity is at stake. So we have to attack each other instead of having each other's back? Jennifer's voice was sharp and pierced through the tense atmosphere. Do not lecture me on having women's back. Joy finally fired back. I've been having women's back longer than you've been alive. Have you? Jennifer raised an eyebrow. Because right now, on national television, you are doing everything you can to tear down a woman who's built a successful career. You're questioning my talent, my integrity, my personal life, my entire existence, my identity. That's having a woman's back? Whoopi quickly stepped in once more in an attempt to smooth the situation over. Ladies, can we please just take a breath and try to find some common ground here? Jennifer turned to Whoopi with tears welling up in her eyes. Whoopi, I came here with respect and I answered every question honestly, but I'm not going to be sitting here taking this treatment. Treatment? Joy sneered. Jennifer, this is a real interview, not one from Entertainment Tonight. A real interview? Jennifer questioned, incredulous. Joy, you have not asked me a single question about my work, about my craft, or about my experience. You've asked me a bunch of accusations and attacks on my character. Because your work speaks for itself, Joy scoffed. And it's not really that impressive. This was the last straw, and Jennifer's composure finally broke. You know what, Joy? You're right about one thing. This conversation speaks for itself, and it proves what you really are as a person and a professional. Addressing the cameras, Jennifer spoke with a clarity that defied the emotion of the moment. To everybody who's watching out there, I came on this show ready to promote a film that I'm very passionate about. It is about family, resilience, and the strength of women. Instead, I've been subjected to a character assassination by a woman who it looks like has some type of personal vendetta against me. Joy interjected, personal vendetta? I'm asking the questions that need to be asked. Jennifer stopped Joy with an outstretched hand. Joy, you've made your feelings very clear about me, but I will not give you any more opportunities to tear me down for your own entertainment. She walked off stage, her heels clicking loudly on the floor. Cameras followed her every move. "Jennifer, wait!" Sonny yelled out in desperation. Jennifer paused just at the edge of the stage before turning around. "To all of my fans that are watching out there, I am so sorry you had to witness this. You deserve better, and so do I." Joy couldn't resist. "Running when things get tough, that's really interesting, Jennifer." Jennifer stopped, slowly turned around, and walked back toward Joy's chair. Everyone held their breath. The studio fell into a silence that could be heard around the world. "You want to know what is interesting, Joy?" Jennifer's voice was a whisper but filled with power. "It's interesting that you have built your career on ambushing people, on creating controversy for ratings, and you think that makes you a journalist, rather than what it really makes you, a bully who's lost the sense between holding people accountable and cruelty." Joy's mouth opened to respond, but Jennifer continued, "I've been in this business for 25 years. Joy and I have heard and experienced everything in my life, but I have never been in a situation where I have sat down and been subjected to somebody's personal vendetta. To be humiliated, and I really hope you're happy." And with that, Jennifer turned her back for the last time and exited stage left. Cameras focused on Joy's face. The rest of the hosts looked on in stunned silence. What was meant to be a lighthearted celeb interview turned into one of the biggest TV moments of all time. This wasn't a celebrity meltdown, but a mastery class on how personal vendettas can destroy boundaries, turning a real interview into an assassination of a person. And while Jennifer Lopez may have had her pride wounded, this demonstration of not backing down from a professional bully may have changed a new rule of talk show interviews. What did you guys think? Did Jennifer do the right thing walking off? Or should she have stayed to have her say? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.